I've totally changed, right? I've definitely changed since I started my channel because I like He-Man and Black Widow. Okay, so let's take a look at some of my older videos where I review comic books. One movie, and I said it was great. I actually said Amber Heard stole the show. Oh, I've changed? I've changed, right? Because I never, ever liked Kevin Smith. I wasn't excited about the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I must be a different person, right? Right. Okay. All right. Cool. Oh, wait. The only thing that's really changed here is maybe my weight. Oh, look at that chubby chub. Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdets Newsstand, and I want to talk a little bit about the controversy that's going around, or, kind of how it affects my channel, mostly because I'm getting these repeat comments about how I've changed, about how I've totally went SJW, and oh my god, and yeah, someone just doesn't change overnight. Actually, I've been, pretty normally saying people don't actually change. People may learn, people may educate themselves, but people at the core of themselves really don't change. I haven't changed at all. We'll go over that here in a minute. I want to talk about it, but let's talk a little bit about the controversy that this is all surrounding, right? So my position when it comes to He-Man was never my favorite character on He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And this show was never titled He-Man. It was titled Masters of the Universe. I don't mind the side characters. I liked them. I thought they were weird and fun and silly and, a stinkor. Like, besides the fact that we didn't get to hear enough Jason Mewes as stinkor, in the original show was just a dumb concept that I found it fascinating. I liked the side characters. So this show, I didn't mind because I like the side characters. But with that being, said, it's a very divisive show. At least, I don't think it would be had they released it all, and we'll talk about that also. But it's okay to dislike it. Maybe the more important conversation around this whole thing is how men are portrayed in the media, how relationships are portrayed in the media, real relationships. It's not okay for insecure, aggressive men to attack women over their like or dislike of a show. It's not. It's going to happen. Welcome to the internet, right? But what is okay to happen is to have an honest conversation about this portrayal and this feeling of emasculation that a lot of people actually do have when they see, people being promoted that are either women, not promoted as in a job. I'm talking about right now, there's a big push for diversity and for representation. It feels emasculating to some men, and that's okay. That's the more important conversation. That's what we should be talking about. You don't need to be Batman. You don't need to look like He-Man to get a woman. It's okay. There is a certain narrative that has been going around when it comes to sidelining men because they want to promote people of color or women. That's the conversation that needs to be had. But to men, it feels like an attack. And I don't think it's necessarily always an attack. I do think there are some people that do it on purpose to get those man babies. Okay, shut up. Just shut up with all of that. Like, both sides, just shut up. Let's have a real conversation here, right? But you can't claim to not hate women and then hate on strong women. Not me, or not Tila, me, duh. No, I'm totally kidding about that whole sentence. But I'm just saying there is a conversation to be had. But it is more along the lines of, getting pushed to the side, feeling emasculated because of certain properties and IPs shifting to diversity and representation. I know a lot of people don't like that. I have no issue with diversity and representation as long as it's done organically. I have none whatsoever. I actually think it's extremely important, and I've told why before, and it's simply because I see myself every time I pick a game If I'm going to Mortal Kombat, I always pick female. I always pick someone that looks like me. I think it's important for everybody to have somebody that looks like them in media. But it has to be done organically. And where do you find that really kind of center line to where it is organic and everybody feels, represented? So that's a conversation for a different day. But I just wanted to kind of give you my position. And if you don't like it, that's great. That's great. I don't care. I don't. So ever since I started more reviewing along the lines of TV shows or, stuff in the media, Disney Plus, movies, people have been saying, you've changed. No, I just never reviewed those before. I'm much more familiar with comic books, so I'm able to really critically look at them objectively and tell you these are the tropes. This is the type of storytelling being done. And I apologize if you hear my cats. Yeah, they're nuts. I apologize. But anyways, ever since I started reviewing those type things, people have noticed a change in me. Or so they think. I don't think there's necessarily a change. I think because I am less familiar with those things, I am more accepting of them, right? I don't have the critical expertise to necessarily go hard at cinematography or film or scores on a movie or this. Now, when it comes to Black Widow, I can't help it. I loved it. Black Widow was much better than He-Man, by the way. Black Widow to me was something I always wanted to see because it really was a character that was underutilized, underappreciated, and amazing. She should have had her own solo movie from the beginning, just like Thor or Iron Man. But she was pushed to the side because, Ike, what's his name, said, women can't sell. Oh, wait, we're supposed to pretend like those never existed. Right, my bad. He totally never said that. But Black Widow did well. Black Widow did very well. Unfortunately, with the Disney Plus, kind of letting people get to pirate it a lot easier and also getting it, you can watch it on repeat. So it didn't do as well in the subsequent weeks, but even so, it was something I felt that was way overdue. And I felt like they took a really good jab at how women feel, at how women are controlled, how women sometimes are subjugated in a situation like child trafficking. I thought it was amazing, that opening. It's amazing to me. And it's okay that you don't like it. Get it? Because that's normal, right? So back to Masters of the Universe. It was never called He-Man. We talked about that, right? But it's still definitely about He-Man. And if you take a look at the part 2, it's all about Adam. Like part 2 not released today, but they gave some information about it, and it is all about Adam. Part 2 is a world in which Skeletor has the power. When we say, well, what made Adam special? This is from a Variety article. I'll link it in the pinned comment. What does it mean to have the power? What made Adam the person who is most worthy to be He-Man? I will tell you this, Adam's story is not done, and it will never be done. Not saying what happens to him, but I'm saying his story continues. And then even Chris Wood, who does the voice of Adam and He-Man, said this. I would say keep watching, with the biggest wink with an audio-only review can give. In a world that is filled with magic and supernatural powers, anything is possible. Yes, the second half is all about Adam. And that's great. I can't wait to see it. Just like I couldn't wait to see the first half. Again, divisive. It's okay if you don't like it. But this video will still be just terribly downvoted, because of course it will. Now, let's go into a little bit more of it, because I want to tell you why people think I have changed. And I'm going to show you a couple examples. At the end of the day, leftists run the big two, and leftists are evil trash. Okay, so not all people on the left are evil trash. Even when I was on the left, I wasn't evil trash. What? No, not all people are evil on one side or the other. It's that simple. most people, believe it or not, don't even give a shit about politics. I don't at all. Like, I haven't cared in a really long time. So, we can't control them. So what exactly? Bend over and take it? Never said that. You enjoyed He-Man? Seriously, your tastes are horrible. I could agree with that. I think my tastes are very opposite of a lot of people. You can't compromise with these, you naive fool. They have manipulated the market through the media. You enjoying making Tila a Mary Sue, which she was not. She was not. She absolutely was not. And a bitch the entire time. Tila's always kind of been a bitch, especially lately, and especially in the comics. Do I personally like Tila being mad because she was lied to? I think there is a point where she should have been like, all right, I get it, and she did with her dad. But I think I understand what it's like to be lied to for a lot of years. So am I over it? No, and I don't know that I'll ever be. I understand what it's like to be lied to, so I understand her position. Yeah, I'm not even going to go through this. It's clear you lost the plot and now enjoy things to spite anti-SJW and rage baiters, because that is the only way you can have any sort of relevancy on your channel. I don't have any relevancy on my channel. I don't know that I ever will. So no, I like this because I like it. Has nothing to do with anti-SJWs. There are a lot of things that I like that they hate or love, or it doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? And it's funny to me is I stopped paying attention. I stopped paying attention to their whole He-Man drama moments after it started. I don't care. Wow, what happened to you? Think Black Widow is a good movie and now this? Have you gone bonkers? Both of these shows are trash. In your mind, you have to keep in mind that everything, and I mean everything, when it comes to if you like it or not is subjective. Is Kevin Smith paying me? You know what's funny is they did the exact same thing. When it came to The Last of Us 2 and I reviewed it after I beat it. The exact same thing. I don't understand it. They all go, oh my God, you're being paid. No, I like something. It's okay. And justifying Orko being dead, advertising your thumbnail that way, there's no justification for it. And I've seen it justified time and time again. You want the clicks. That's why you put it on there. But don't justify a terrible behavior. Don't justify it. It's not okay. This fandom, this pocket fandom we've talked about before, always claims, I see it time and time again, they want diversity of thought. Bullshit. I am the pure fucking example of that. They never cared about diversity of thought, and they never will, because the fucking moment you go against what they say, they're going to out you. They're going to treat you like shit. They're going to call you trash. They don't care about diversity of thought. That's a ploy. Agree with them, or you will be shunned. It's happened to me time and time again, and I've been on this platform for some time. It happened with The Last of Us, and it's happening again. Diversity of thought is a joke on both the sides. It is. So stop acting like it's not. Be apolitical, and maybe we'll talk about diversity of thought. But no, that fandom doesn't give a shit about diversity of thought at all. So let's talk a little bit about the redesigns, because everyone's so mad, but nobody said a fucking thing when it came to Evil Lynn or Faker. Evil Lynn is just as muscular. Nobody cared. Right. Because it's hypocritical. What about, the whole shaved side head thing? Even with a feminine, beautiful looking Tila and a reason for her to have muscles, we still have seen the exact same thing that people have praised, whether it's Gina Carano or Natalie Portman in V for Vendetta, or in your boy Zach's Pandemic book, or Charlie Theron in Mad Max, or The Hunger Games, or G.I. James, or Les Mis, or Doctor Strange, or Ripley in Aliens, or Melina. But we suddenly forgot about those. Okay. All right. I do think I will agree and say one thing that I do think it is a bit of a bait and switch. Had they not put out that initial trailer, which was the best trailer in my opinion, I do think it would have been a bait and switch. Or I do agree that it was a bit of a bait and switch. That's the only thing I think I'll definitely agree to, because there was no truth in the original rumor. There just wasn't. Tila doesn't have a girlfriend. It's not, I don't even see it gay coded, but I think the original show was way more gay coded than this ever was. There's no way that Tila would have ever had a girlfriend, because this is Mattel. You remember they make Barbies, right? Like, come on now. There was never, she was a better this or she was a better that. That never happened. So no, those original rumors were false. But I do think a year building up of Kevin Smith not shutting his fucking mouth. Yeah, I like Kevin Smith a lot. I think some of his Green Arrow stuff, and there's about one run of Batman I didn't like, when Batman accidentally tinkles himself. Kevin Smith, what were you thinking? Anyways, Kevin Smith just needs to get off social media, and this wouldn't be an issue. Now, recently, he's told fans not fans. I guess I definitely want to say fans. I would say fans of the cult of fandom to grow the fuck up. What's wrong with you, Kevin? Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop talking. Don't tell people to grow the fuck up. You're gonna make them more mad. You have another half of this coming out about Adam. Shut the fuck up. In the nicest way possible, shut up. Just shut up. Just stop. No more Twitter for you. Get a social media manager. No more talking. Even though I love Kevin Smith, no more talking. And then the last thing I really want to talk about is people justifying the review bombing. Just like they did with The Last of Us Part 2, there was plenty of reviews before you could have even played the game. It's review bombing. Call it what it is. There's no, this is the truth on review bombing. There's review bombing going on. And at least have the audacity to admit it. There's, people saying it's not review bombing, it's true fans. Then how's come those true fans on those review bombing are saying they haven't watched it? How's come those true fans on that review bombing wouldn't have had the ability to watch it? Because as soon as Rotten Tomatoes went up, it was being review bombed. No, it's review bombing. And the only good thing about it is I would say there's about 2,500 reviews, right? That shows you how small of a number this fandom is kind of sending to those reviews. Not telling them. I don't mean that. I just mean creating the hate, creating the ability, the want for this to fail. So that's a small number comparatively to what is watching your show. Kevin Smith needs to stop giving that number a platform. I think part 2 will be good, and I will be reviewing it. I will be continuing to do what I always do, but it irritates the hell out of me when you come to my channel and say, oh, Geeks and Gamers said, he watched all 5 episodes and it's nothing but woke bullshit. No, it's escapist fun. That's what it is. That men are weak, not true. And horrible, again, not fucking true. And women's identity are in trouble. Again, not true. Did you see Evil Lynn? She is a fucking babe. And guess what? There are women out there that, may be more muscular. It made sense for her to be more muscular, Tila, because she was this evil or this magical bounty hunter, right? It made more sense. And Evil Lynn was hot as fuck. I know I'm saying that about a cartoon. I get it. It's weird. I don't care. She was beautiful. She looked amazing. The sorceress, when not old and decrepit, looked amazing. No, women are fine in this. Now, has there been more of a representation of maybe ugly girls? I'm trying to figure out how to say this without being super mean. Has there been more of a representation of body positivity and girls that maybe aren't a 10. We'll do that lately. Yeah. There definitely has. Again, we talked about representation in the beginning. Body positivity to me is one I'll never understand. Just because, yes, I get it. You're a chub and you love your body for that. That's wonderful. I'm so glad you like your body. And I'll never say anything bad about your body. Unless I'm going with you to the doctor and then I'm like, hey, you know what's not sexy? Confidence is sexy, but diabetes isn't. Now, of course, just because you're chubby, you don't get diabetes. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying body positivity, I don't quite understand, right? But even so, this is getting a little long-winded. We may talk about this. Maybe I should have talked about it more on stream last night. But by the end, I was pissed because my emails popped up and I had been doxxed and I had to get off real quick. So I apologize for getting off and kind of being pissy at the end. It was nothing. I love you guys. You guys are amazing to me and quite honestly part of my life that I couldn't imagine being without, but I was irritated by the end. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm sure this will be downvoted, but I would like to maybe this weekend, instead of doing best of, though I do really like doing best and worst of, I would like to maybe do like a disagreement day I had talked about before, where people can call in that have some sort of beef with He-Man, and maybe we can talk it out and actually have a regular conversation instead of, feminism bad. Okay, all right, good one. You got me there, fucker. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.